We
Is
are
it
going.
Thursday already? Oh my
It
gosh.
is Thursday already. This is what happens when you have a long weekend. You also have a short week.
For sure. How's everyone doing today? Let us know where you're watching from. Drop us a comment and yeah, tell us how you're doing today. Thank you so much for joining us, Pablo. It's Thursday, but it's also Tutorial Tuesday, kind of, since we mixed around our schedule. What do you have for us today?
Yeah, so we are going to be going over a tutorial today, but we will be going over the general settings um, on your Happs account. So it's been a while since we've done a broadcast like this, so we're just going to go over your profile settings, your account settings, etc., to make sure that you all are up to speed with all of that. So um, yeah, that's what we're going to go through. But first off, I just want to take this time to also reintroduce the fact that we have this new awesome about page. So if you go to happs.tv for the very first time and you're not logged in, you will now be welcomed by this new, really cool, updated, fresh-faced about page that gives you a better look into what Happs is all about. So we're super excited about that and happy that this update has been made. So I'm going to go ahead and log in now.
Nice. Yeah, it looks snazzy. I'm digging the new website. Our team did a good job on that. I just want to say hello to the folks in the comments here. Tanya, in first today, hello. Aaron Delgado, hola, saludos desde Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. Thank you so much for joining, Lassie, as well. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing your name right. Let me know if I'm not. Alex, Edgar, really cool international group here today. Helen, hey, greetings. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. For those of you who haven't seen the email that went out to all of our Happs users, check it out. Helen is one of a few folks featured there as part of some best practices and tips for hosting talk shows. So that was really cool. Congrats, Helen. Shout out to you. And to Jim and Doug and Allie of Frameable Faces. Really fun to see some of those tips passed along.
Yeah. Also, hello to Vince, Russ, Karen, and Linny and Lisa. Welcome to the Tutorial Tuesday for today. So as I've mentioned earlier, we're going to be going over the settings, all of your account settings, essentially, right? Like what is that menu? What does it do, et cetera, et cetera. So without further ado, let's start with that here. Hey, Luis, good seeing you. All right, so from your feed, from your Discover tab, from wherever you are on the platform, you're going to go over to your profile photo here in the top right-hand corner, and then you're going to select Settings, and then this is where all of your account settings live, right? So this is where you'll go to get to your notification settings, your email settings, socials and multicasting, et cetera, et cetera. But with that being said, we're just going to go through all of them very briefly. So I may not give too much details about all of these individual settings because we will actually be doing broadcasts and tutorial broadcasts about most of these individually in the future, right? So socials and multicasting can be a whole broadcast to go over each individual social media platform to edit that. So just a heads up that this will be a very brief overview of all the settings with some explanation as to what some of these buttons do. So with that being said, first off, we have your notification settings, and it's important to understand the difference between what a push notification is and what a notification is in general. So when you turn on browser push notifications, and this is just for desktop, but on the mobile side, you would see push notifications. If you have that off, it'll essentially mean that your phone will not ring, right? Your phone will not give you any sound. It will not vibrate. And on the desktop side, it means that unless you're on happs.tv and have Chrome open and are logged in, you won't see that you have a new notification, right? But if you have push notifications turned on, in the top right-hand corner, whenever you have Chrome running, you will get a Happs notification. So that's just something to note on what that means. Secondly, we have email notifications. So this is if you're someone that's more reliant on email. I'd strongly recommend turning that on as needed. However, if you want to be a little bit more individualistic about your settings, you want to first go ahead and turn these on. All right, that one's not working. And then for each of these notifications, you can individually select if you want to get push notifications or email notifications. So if you turn on email notifications, but all of these are off down below, then you won't be getting emails. And you might be wondering, was like, wait a minute, I turned on email notifications, but they're not working. So that is why. Turn this on and then individually turn on the emails that you want to receive notifications for. The specific notifications that you want to receive emails for. Vince, yes, we did remove that award. Alrighty, so email updates, right? So this is where you go to sign up for the weekly email update. So we release a email every week. It's more of like a kind of like a newsletter, right? This week was all about tips and tricks for hosting a show. It was very similar to the tips and tricks that we went over on Monday. So that's very similar to how that works. So expect to see the newsletter to kind of be a follow-up of what happens on Monday's broadcast from this point forward. It may not always be the case, but it will often be a part of that. Next up, we have socials and multicasting. So this is where you will go to set up which places you want to live stream to on top of just your Happs account. It's important to note that once you connect your social media account, it'll by default have enabled multicasting, right? It'll have this on. If you turn this off, what this means is that when you go live for the first time or any time from then forward, Twitter won't automatically be on. You would have to manually select it to turn it back on. Whereas if you have this set up, if you get to the menu setting where it asks you which places and destinations would you like to multicast to, anything that says enable multicasting by default in your settings will automatically be on. So that means that you won't have to click on anything once you're going through that process from that point forward. However, if you have it off, make sure that you note that you have to add it depending on the broadcast. So this might be important for people that are very picky about the type of content they're sending to a certain social media platform, right? So like if you have a YouTube and a Twitch connected, but you only want to send your cooking to YouTube, and then your like Q&As or like Hangouts, you only want to send to Twitch. That is how you would manipulate that. So maybe your YouTube would be the one that is enabled by default, and then the other won't be enabled by default. So that's that front. There is one thing about Facebook that you should be aware of, and that is that if you once you have it connected and you can have up to 10 different destinations here, you can individually set them on and off. And then another thing is that you can select which of those destinations actually appears on your profile. So if you go to your profile and select Facebook, right? So I had it set to none. So if I click on that, it's just going to take me to my settings. But as a viewer, if I were to click on that and I had this set to profile, you can actually go to that profile that you have it set there. For YouTube, it's very simplistic and straightforward on that front. Peter, I don't know what what do you mean by the subscriber numbers?
Yeah, so just a reminder that all of these external channels here and platforms do add up towards your total subscriber count on Happs. So you might notice your total number of Happs subscribers going up here or going down if you disconnect them. So don't be alarmed. That is normal. Just a reminder there.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Cool. So that is socials and multicasting settings. So next up, we have our broadcasting settings. So these are settings that will help explain, well, essentially kind of like what happens while you're broadcasting, right? So these are the settings where you would go to find some of the things that directly affect how you broadcast and what is on the screen. So the very first one is to animate layout transitions. This is more for anyone using the studio, right? So I've shown this a couple of times before, but when you have animate layout transitions, when you take something on or off the screen, it'll move. Sorry, Peter.
Hey, give me a little heads up here. I'm like
It'll
buried
move.
in my keyboard. Thanks, Pablo.
Yeah, sorry
Making me
about that.
look good.
But as you can see, things kind of move very smoothly.
You're lucky I wasn't eating my Twinkie there on the side here. Jeez.
My bad. But if you have that off, everything would just be very jump cutty. So it would be like straight to the next clip without any smooth transition. The next few are all about the graphics that you have on the screen. So awards banner at the top of the screen is what normally would appear in the top here, giving you the goal amount and the previous awards that you're receiving. So if you have awards banner off, then you can't turn on the dollar goal. Whereas if you have awards banner on, you can turn this, etc. Right? So broadcast title in graphics is pretty self-explanatory. Do you want your title to be rotating on and off during the broadcast? And that will enable for that to be on. And then lastly is to show your usernames, professions, and locations in graphics. So if you don't want any of that information to be on screen for you or any of your guests at any point, then definitely turn that off. And then lastly, this is all about your real location. So the location that you set on your profile is your decision based off of what you want to do. However, if you have real location turned on and you have this turned on, the broadcast will display your current active location. So again, if you don't want that to be showing, make sure to turn this off and that off at the same time. Next up, moderation. So moderation has three different tools within it to help you moderate your broadcast. The first is the comment moderation that is automated, right? So by default, there are certain words that do get auto moderated from Happs if you set it to default, which is somewhere around here, right? But then you can decide to go least strict or most strict. And what that does is that it enables it so that the amount of strictness that you have on your broadcast. So certain words like even damn might get muted on the most strict side.
Well, watch your language there. This is official Happs broadcast, sir.
Sorry. The second tool here within the comment moderation is to add a specific word or phrase. So Peter was being bullied for his forehead size there for a second. So I'm going to go ahead and add forehead. And if you type in forehead,
I'm gonna report you to moderation at this rate, pal. I'm just kidding.
If you type in forehead in any of my broadcasts, then that would get auto muted moving forward.
I'm so triggered, Pablo. I'm definitely adding that in there. Oh man.
Sorry about that, bud. Next up, you have your moderation team, and I haven't removed Justine since I did that last example when we went over this, so I won't take them off ever now at this point. But essentially, you can set up your own moderation team. Yeah. So if you need to add a moderator, you can just search their name. Here we can find another member of the team, Drew Shepard. So he is now officially a moderator. And all three of these moderators have moderation tools on the platform, which means that they can help you moderate your comments, mute them, etc. And they can also have private chats with you while you're live. So if you're not sure if the broadcaster that you're moderating for wants you to mute someone, you can ask them in the ping chat and they'll let you know. Lastly, for those of you that do have moderators and maybe have too many moderators, then you might want to take a look at your muted users from time to time, because I've gotten a few emails from people saying that, hey, one of my top viewers can't comment on my broadcast anymore. This is where you'll want to go to ensure that you or any of your moderators didn't accidentally mute someone and are now on this list. So there you go. Next up is sponsorships and payments, which I will skip, but this is for those of you that sponsor anyone. are paying any money on the Happs platform. So if you're buying coins, if you're sponsoring someone, all of that can be found in sponsorships and payments. So you can monitor your active sponsorships towards a user. You can add or remove your payment method, and you can also see all of the activity. So anywhere that you've been charged will appear there as well. Next up, you have your sponsors and earnings. So this is very important because, as you all know, last week we announced that every user on Happs can now receive sponsors. So where you go to start doing so is in your sponsors and earnings tab. And so if you click that on, you will see that if you go to your profile, you can now hit buy me a coffee there or sponsor blank here. So that is going to be the way that you turn that on moving forward. Shout out to that great broadcast award. Oh, look who it's Roman Camacho. You need to re-verify your email there, bud, but I will go ahead and take care of that for you in just a second. I haven't seen you around in a while. It's good seeing you.
Ramon in the house? No way. What? So great to see you.
Awesome journalist. Let's see. There you go. So now we should be able to see your name if you comment again there, Roman. Right. So active sponsors, I have 0 because I don't have this turned on. Then you can go to your transaction history. So this is where you'll go to see how many awards you've given and when you've given them. So just something to note there. And it goes, that's a weird date to start off. Doesn't seem up to date. Oh, take note of that, Peter. And then finally, your balance. So if you were to request a payout, as we know, you have to reach $200 first. But this is where you go to see your earnings and check on how close or far away you are from that $200. And you can always, you don't have a max amount that you can hold here. You can save that as long as you need, but you do need at least the minimum of $200 to cash out. And shout out to anyone that gives me awards because they go right back at you when I buy coins. Alrighty, so lastly, your general settings. This is probably your most important settings depending on who you are as a user. First thing is your email. So this is where you will get all of your email notifications to. So make sure that that is the correct email that you check if you are someone that checks their email and uses that more based off of your use on the platform. Secondly, this is where you can go to manage your blocked users. So if you block anyone or if you can't see anyone on the platform anymore, there's a strong likelihood that you have blocked them. So make sure to check that list every now and then and see if there's anyone on there, again, that you may have accidentally clicked block on from moving too fast on the platform, et cetera, et cetera. And then lastly, if you, for whatever reason, need to permanently delete your account, this will delete all data and information of yours on the Happs platform. So all of your previous broadcasts, all of your email updates, and all of that stuff will be removed from the Happs platform. There. Cool. Oh yeah, we did block Doe as an example that one time. Fun. Anyway, so that's it for your general settings for the tutorial today. Hey, Naomi, thank you for the Happs hug. Peter, you ready to be back on camera?
Yeah, thanks for the heads up this time. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Roman, so great to see you here. I can't believe it. It's been
It's
a
been a
while
while. Yeah.
since we've seen you in the comments, buddy.
Jinx.
Incredible journalist. Actually, I'll find his Twitter. Amazing photographer. Yeah. Let's see. From Caracas.
I'm sorry in advance for making forehead a thing.
Too late. Too late as usual. Let's see here.
Awesome. So this is what you can expect for moving forward from our tutorial Tuesdays, which today was on, or for this week was on Thursday, given the fact that Monday this week was a holiday for us. So next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program. On Monday we will be on Monday we will be doing 2 broadcasts for community updates and Q&A, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. On Tuesday we will be doing this tutorial style broadcast. On Wednesday we will be having our new official show, which is Happs Takeovers, as you all saw yesterday. For those of you that tuned in, Deanna Hooper took over the Happs account with a roundtable or just general discussion with some scientists on the platform, and they had a really great time. It was really cool to see. So if you have a takeover to pitch to the Happs team, send us an email at contact@happs.tv, and we're happy to hear you out and see if that's a good fit. We'd love to hear, if there's like a radio takeover in the future, if there's art takeovers, music takeovers, etc. It'd be really great, and it is totally up to you on what time you want to do it, with some sleeping time for Peter and I, exceptions. So yeah, we can definitely work around your schedule. It's all about accommodating you, the community, to collaborate with each other and have a little bit more of an audience with the Happs profile. So we're really excited about this new endeavor, and looking forward to some more takeovers in the future. We'll announce who's taking over for next week once that's fully solidified. But yeah, so those are the major updates.
Well said. I just dropped the link. Let me know if you can see this Google Doc for nominations for the Broadcast of the Week show tomorrow. Can't believe it, already tomorrow. So please do get those nominations in. This form is also on the official Happs account as a post, which should be clickable now. Let me know if you can see it. Doe says we need to know bedtimes. That's a little intrusive and also varies between like 5 hours range. But let's see. Lenny, hello from Boston. Very cool.
Takara is saying that the Google Doc does work.
Good. Yes, please do drop your nominations there. It's super easy. You just toss your email in and the link to the broadcast, and that's it. Thanks.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow for Broadcast of the Week, where we will have more than just screenshots this time. So we're really excited about that.
Oh man.
And for those of you that haven't already participated for the theme of the week, please make sure to use the hashtag Happs History when you go live. The theme of the week for this week is history. I've seen a lot of people go live without the Happs History hashtag in their broadcast, either title or in the hashtag menu. That makes it very hard for us to find them later on. So if you did a Happs History broadcast and you wonder why you don't get on the list for tomorrow, it's because of that. We couldn't find you. So make sure to use the hashtag Happs History when going live for the theme of the week, and we'll announce the theme for next week tomorrow.
Nice. Well said. Yes, good notes. Thanks to everyone who joined us today. Fantastic to see you all here again. And we hope to see you back tomorrow for Broadcast of the Week.
Yeah. See you all. I don't know why I had the long there.
What comes after the content, the transition, and the cheerio? Pablo forgot, but I did not. Cheers. Yes, saludos. Thank you so much for joining in.
Gracias, Roman. Nos vemos.
We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao. All right, bye. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.